Music producers, Chaotic Beats asks a very specific question about different marketing strategies when promoting your beats. Let's talk about it.
Airbit.com.
Music producers, you spent the time to work on a beat. You're proud of this beat. This beat got some crazy bells, some crazy 808 slides, stuff that you ain't never been doing before in your entire career. You're proud of it. Now you can't wait to get it out there in the marketplace because you know that when when rappers come across it, they are going to want to purchase that beat. However, it falls upon deaf ears with a weak marketing strategy. So today what we're going to talk about are specific ways that you can strategize or market your beats so that they get to the right people. So let me start off by saying, a lot of times we think about terms like marketing and they become so stale to us and they have no emotional connection to us that we don't even know what the term marketing is and how it applies to us. Marketing is this. And I had a professor tell me one time, it's one of the most brilliant ways, simplistically, he could have told me, is that marketing is literally, how can I make my message the most clear to the people that need to hear it the most? So if your message is that this beat is the anthem for your next album, then everything from the imagery of the photo that you use, if you choose to use a photo to promote that song, everything from your beat visualizer video with the waves and all that, and what you choose for the background must embody that particular emotion of it. You must make sure that everything is cohesive, even the font. If you get a chance, Google typography psychology and color psychology, because you literally have been, how can I put it without sounding like two conspiracy theorists? You've been programmed to associate certain color combinations and certain fonts with an emotion. So if you think about almost all the fast food places, what are the two colors you generally see these fast food places like McDonald's and over on the West Coast is In-N-Out. I'm sorry you don't get that over there, but on the West Coast is In-N-Out, and even you think about like food brands like Oscar Mayer hot dogs, like they're all yellow and red. Yellow and red is known, it's a scientific fact. Research has shown that it makes you hungry. You ever wonder why when you pass a vending machine and you see this bright blue box of a vending machine and there's this soda that's kind of leaning on a mountain of ice? That's literally imagery and color psychology that is programming you to tell you you're thirsty when you weren't even thirsty. You didn't want anything to drink. But because you saw that, now you're thirsty. So that being said, that cohesiveness within their marketing approach, and once again, going back to my initial point, how can you make your message the most clear to the people who need to hear it the most? Well, you made the message clear by using the right colors, the right fonts, and that started got your attention. And then the people that need to hear it the most are probably the thirstiest people in the world, the hungriest people in the world. That's what it applies to. Same thing applies to you. Don't think you're any different because you're a producer. You are a small business. You are a business. So that being said, make sure that the emotions of this particular production of this beat that you're trying to, or even just your overall website, make sure they are cohesive with the approach that you are pushing out there when it comes to marketing your beats. A lot of times, we have these fonts that we think look cool, but they don't necessarily tell the story or necessarily give us the right emotion to expect from the beat. It's almost like, could you imagine a child's movie that has like killer, like a murder movie mystery font? It just wouldn't make any sense unless the point was irony, but for the most part, it wouldn't make any sense. So that being said, you must make sure that everything image-wise is cohesive, because it don't matter if you share it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. If the cohesiveness is not there, it will not attract the right people. And who it does attract is not going to be in the same line with what you presented yourself as. So that's the first thing before we talk about marketing strategies. Now, when it comes to specifically, because I made a video already about driving traffic, when it comes to specifically trying to get the right people's attention, you got to understand the culture of your customer. Sometimes that may mean jumping on a phone conversation for 10 minutes and just talking about them, about their life. Like, what do you do for fun? Where do you go? You may find out that a lot of your customers are into a particular sport. If it's soccer, you know, that right there alone will give you an idea of maybe I should either start naming all of my beats or every other week name a batch of my beats after my favorite soccer players. Why? Because that falls in line with your brand, and it's such a subconscious connection that you tie these customers in so strong, because us as human beings, we like people that are like us. Knowing that, you go so cohesive with these people and you attract the right people, and they're gonna ultimately come and buy from you, or at least go visit your website. You know, when you're talking about marketing strategies, specifically on Instagram, I love doing marketing on Instagram because I love the fact that whatever most people look at as an obstacle or a shortcoming of Instagram, like the 1 minute limitation you can put on a video, I look at that as a challenge. I look at that as, okay, what can I do in this 1 minute that nobody else is thinking about doing, right? Even when they brought together the multiple pictures feature, where you can basically scroll over to see multiple pictures or swipe left, you know, the swipe left feature ends up becoming another way that you can connect multiple videos that can't fit in 1 minute. You can even make it to the point where, you know, say you have a beat that has, I don't know how many the limitations of the multiple slides you can do, but say you have a beat with 8 instruments, right? So you're doing a kick and a snare, you're doubling them up together. You could literally put a beat together in an Instagram multi-picture feature, put a beat together, show all the elements, and at the very last slide, have the actual beat. Then in that same post, go crazy on the hashtags that apply to music producers or that apply to rappers and get their attention. People are like, you don't need music producers to be your fans. Bull. You get producers to be your fans, guess who their #1 fans are? Rappers. Now, the last thing I want to say to wrap all this up when it comes to marketing, there's typically 2 approaches no matter what type of content or messaging you put out there. It's called the push technique or the pull technique. Now, I'd say most producers probably utilize the push technique, which is you put content out and you aggressively look for everybody out there that you think might possibly want it. You're literally, you know, pushing your material out there to any and everybody that'll pay attention. But there's not a lot of longevity in that. What I suggest you do is the pull technique, which is create content, create imagery, create music that is so alluring, so undeniably amazing, you know, that you pull people's attention in. If they felt like they made the decision to go check you out and it wasn't some spammy post or you trying to you know, get in the way of the flow of their timeline, they're more than likely to come back without you even asking. They're more than likely to be fans of what you do. So I suggest that you do more things that are gonna pull people in instead of always thinking it's a push, push, push. There's a time for that. If you have a specific goal that you wanna get done and you want people to be involved in it, pushing works because people get excited about being around a campaign. So those are my thoughts when it comes to specific marketing strategies. You know, I always feel like before I give you very practical, specific strategies, it is no benefit to you unless you get the mindset right and understand why you're doing this first. When you get that right, the strategies will come to you because it's fun. At the end of the day, marketing is fun. It should be fun to you. This is the way that you basically, you know, translate the language of your music to the people who want to hear you. This is fun. Get it out to the people. Figure out what the people are into. What is their temperature? What are they on? This is the fun part. Don't let it be so businessy. You know what I mean? So for those out there, producers who have your own marketing strategies and you would like to share them, jump in there. We encourage engagement. Jump in the comments, help your fellow peers, and make sure that we help this community continue to grow and continue to market ourselves as the professionals that we are. Once again, it's Curtis King at airbit.com.
Airbit.com.
Music producers, don't forget to subscribe to the Airbit channel right now.